Welcome back. You're now tuned into the other side of sports. I'm your host, Laws in the building. We got my man Aaron rocking out. Of course, we got a lot of stuff to talk about, though. We're gonna get into the Super Bowl. We're gonna talk about the Wizards trades and all that stuff. We kind of went into it a little bit when it first happened, but we're gonna recap that. We're gonna cover some stuff we didn't really get to talk about. We didn't get to talk about Mike McDaniel's press conference, how he was confused about all the uproar about his color and skin tone and all. We're gonna get into that. We're gonna talk people big mad about the Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg performance. I mean, we're gonna talk the Super Bowl stuff. Before we get into that, Aaron, dog, it's scammers out here, dog. Big time scammers.
They got you.
Bama almost got me, dog. Almost got me. So look, you know, so first of all, Facebook and Instagram are connected now. So like you can get an instant message and it come from Instagram, but it show up on your Facebook jump. So, I saw a picture of this youngin that I thought I knew. At first glance, the first name in the picture matched. So I saw the picture, I was like, oh, I know her. And then I saw the first name, I was like, oh yeah. But I didn't really like investigate it really closely. But it was like, hey, I know you got a little business. Do you want a grant? They're giving out free money for like grant money, and time is running out. So you need to contact this lady and just tell them you want to apply for the grant and then you can get the money, whatever, right? So I'm like, I peeped the jump and I'm like, okay, but I was busy. I was doing stuff throughout the day. I was like, I'll get to it. So then she hit me. She was like, yeah, you need to contact her quick because it's the time's gonna run out, like the money's gonna be all gone or whatever. So I was like, all right, bet. So I was like, I was gonna put it off, but then I was like, let me just go ahead and text the lady. So she sent me a link, and this is the first fishy part of the whole situation. When she sent me the link, it linked to a Facebook page, right? And the Facebook page was like of a fake Congress lady. Let me see if I can pull this joint up, dog. Because the jump was so, the way the jump was done, it was so savvy. So the jump say Agent Elizabeth Cheryl Stanton, right? And when you click on her page, it like look, it says this is a federal government and private grant foundations issues billions of dollars in grant money to a variety of groups each year, right? The joint looks official with a whistle, Aaron. I was like, I said, oh, okay, young Agent Jones. So you look, if you go to the profile and you like look at the pictures and stuff, it all like kind of reflects like a real government type situation, right? So I'm like, all right, bet. So then she's like, yeah, just what's your name, whatever. So Harold Laws, whatever. But that's on my Facebook. You can see the name, whatever. So then the lady, the agent, sends back a little questionnaire jump, and it got like all these questions on it, like date of birth, age, uh, address, all this like personal information, right? So then that was the first little tipping point, right? But this is the kicker. After she sent it, I told you I was busy. I was doing a bunch of stuff, so I couldn't like respond quick. This is the junk that tipped me off. She started pressing me. She was like, yeah, you need to hurry up and do this ASAP. Like, if you can't fill out the form, send me the answers to the questions on the form through text, like through the Facebook Messenger jump. Then that's when the Spidey sense went all the way off, dog. I was like, this jump. Then I started backtracking. So I said, let me find out the youngin, because I was like, I know this youngin from church. So I'm like, let me see if the youngin respond like in a way that makes me confident that it's actually the person I think it is. So I text the other person first, and I was like, hey, where do I know you from? Like, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm just drawing a blank. Youngin replies back, okay. I was like, oh, these Bammers is slick. These Bammers is slick, dog. Dog, they doing interpooling, like they connecting Bahamas and doing. First of all, that you know that nothing is free, and nothing is free. You ain't getting no grant. If you get a grant, you got to do real work to get that junk, dog. It ain't nothing. I should have known. I almost caught the L, but I ducked the L pretty smoothly. But I'm just saying, they almost got me, dog. I got a high IQ. I'm smart. I see through all the funny business, all that. They almost got me, Aaron. I'm thinking about grandmas and grandpas. They getting on a daily basis, dog, for all their credentials.
And then you know all Alabama's that's susceptible to like the Ponzi schemes anyway. The ones that was selling the waist trainers and the tummy tea and all that kind of stuff. They sit in the info quick, and Bama's gonna open up a credit card in their name, all this other stuff, and then be
Dog.
done with it, dog.
This jump was so crafty, dog. She put all this in. She was like, congratulate. That's another tip point. She was like, congratulations. I'm glad to confirm that your name is also on the lucky winners list on the IMF COVID-19 pandemic 2022. Are you ready for your claiming requirement? Like, what? Dog, grant writers don't operate like this. This program is worldwide promotional tour embarked on for the disabled, unemployed, student workers, retired, young and old, business owners. Going to
They just
grant
try to lump
isn't
everybody
a
in.
dog. Dog. This is a masterful scheme, dog, to get Bama's out their pockets, yeah. I was like, then when the youngin start pressing, just write it in the text and the info me on here. Be filling it one by one in the text and the info to me. Fill it out fast. See? See?
So if she didn't
Child.
press you, would you have filled it out and sent it back
I
to the
might have
lady?
filled it out. Hey son, I might have pinned the whole demonstration on it. The social security and everything on that joke. She would have had all my whole demonstration, dog. I'd have been up finished. Dog, they try to get me, Slim. Hey, dog, that's the thing. If the Bambles is a little bit patient and they just like sent me the little form, Joe, first of all, I'm not trying to help the scammers out, dog, but you gotta make it a PDF, like download jump. That make it official. Because if the jump would have been like that part kind of tipped me off too. Because when she sent me the form, she sent me like a it says application form. The junk looks super fugazi too, because it looked like it don't have like the US United States like emblems on the junk. It got these like generic like Canva type dog. But I'm telling you, a regular Bama off the street ain't hip gonna get got, dog. If I almost got, I know regular Bama's off the street gonna get got, dog. I know grandma and grandpa 65 and up is getting swindled. That's a fact. Yeah, dog. You gotta be careful out here. Definitely gotta be careful out here. Uh hey Aaron, I saw did you watch the new Bel Air Joe? Did you peep the first episode of the Bel Air Joe?
Nah, I ain't see the first episode. I didn't know it came out already.
Dog. First of all, the Joan on Peacock, right? One of them obscure see cable gone away, and now they done replaced cable with these like streaming sites, Jones. And it's a I'm not liking the trend of how this stuff is going because it's all it's a like the Apple TV. You get the Apple TV right, $5, $6 a month, but then you gotta pay to see the movies. I'm like, you just
They
gonna
gonna
get
get
in the
their bread
jump, just
one way or another.
yeah, dog. It's like you just gonna get the app just to like watch two shows on the jump that's free, and then you gotta pay for everything. I'm like, come on. So Peacock is his own little like channel or situation, whatever, right? So of course, they're trying to sell it, so they let you watch the whole first episode of the jump. So the first episode is like an hour, and it might be like that jump was long. It might be an hour and some changes. So uh they got battle rappers in the jump playing some of the Philly hood Bama. Shout out Easy to Block Captain on the jump, but of course, my battle rap enthusiasts. But The Joan Jai, all right, dog. It remind to me, it's like a All American off of Netflix. I don't know if people seen the All American jump, but it got an All American type vibe. Um, but it's it's cool. I think they did a good job, at least from the first episode, because I'm not about to buy a Peacock subscription. If somebody want to hook OSS 980 with the subscription jump to Peacock, because I'm not about to pay $5-6 for Peacock, dog. I'm sorry. I can't do it, champ. Can't do it. Uh, but the first episode, I thought it was cool because they kind of like allude to stuff that's in the real Fresh Prince of Bel Air. You know what I'm saying? So, and they got the same characters like Jeffrey, Hillary, you know what I'm saying? But they like put a little like more of a, it has more of a drama spin to it. It's not like happy go lucky like the show was. You know what I'm saying? Because the show was all about comedy and laughing. This joke a little more like dramatized. Um, but they put little tidbits in there because like it's one scene he go to the house and then they like, man, like why are you out here? And he's like, man, I got one little fight and my mom got scared. Like he just says that, but it's part of like the script. But of course, you know, you think about the song or whatever like that. So it's all right, dog. It's all right. I would watch the jump if it was for free, but I'm not about to pay to watch the jump, dog. It ain't that amazing. Um, but yeah, if you haven't check out the first episode. Let me know what you think. Um, Ern, we didn't get a chance to talk about this though. Before we get into the Super Bowl talk, because there's a lot of stuff to talk about the Super Bowl. Last week, Mike McDaniels, we kind of talked about him becoming a new Dolphins head coach, but we didn't talk about this press conference statement he had right here. Check this out.
Yeah, it's been very odd to tell you the truth. This idea of identifying as something, um, I think people identify me as something, but I identify as a human being. It, and my dad's black, so whatever you want to call it. I know there's a lot of people with a shared experience, but it doesn't make, I'm just. It's weird that it comes up because the I've just tried to be a good person, and I think my background opens my eyes a little bit. I don't have any real experience with racism because I think you identify me as something close to, I don't know, but I know my mom experienced it when she married my dad. I know my dad experienced it, and that's in my family. But I guess that makes me a human being that can identify with other people's problems.
Final question.
What in the world is this clown talking about, dog? What is he talking about?
He trying to tell y'all he's not black without saying I'm not black. He's OJ. You know how they say I'm not black, I'm OJ? That's exactly what he's trying to tell y'all.
Dog.
And he would have been better off just saying it. I'm not black. Because the way the comment came off, you could tell by the way Obama wears his hair how he identifies. That's first and foremost. Obama that brushed their hair backwards like Brian Gumble or this dude here got the little crop. He want to be white guy. You seen his white like he want to be
Dog,
white.
he when he said my dad's black, like it was like a like it was no pride behind that, dog. This Bama living a dream though, because he identifies as white. People identify him as white, but secretly he black inside. So it's just like I don't know if I mean, he sound a little like quirky. Like I don't know if he got all his marbles. Like he just might have like Asperger's or something. And no knock to people dealing with them type of mental health issues, but I just he don't seem all the way there. His thought was not cohesive.
I mean, I don't think he's slow. I think the issue is he's never had to have that conversation about that stuff before. He's been passing
Mhm.
as white his whole life. Like it's people that's out here that's like that. That I don't know what like if he was raised with his mother and father, but a lot of times these mixed Bamas, you look at Mahomes, you look at Michael
Mhm,
Porter Jr. Like if they're raised with their mom as the primary, like they just lean. That's just where they lean.
mhm.
Especially if they have any type of affluence to them, like where they don't have to see black people or kind of like entertain that conversation regularly. So he started brushing his hair like they brush their hair. He probably put mousse in his joint instead of the wave grease. You know what I mean? Like it's just whatever they do, he do. How they talk, he talk. Who they want to date, that's who he want to date. And so like to have the conversation is irritating to him. And that's just how it
Dog.
came across to me.
Yeah, I mean, clearly this dude is not in touch with his black side at all. He has no connection to that side. He has floated through life under the white guys, and he just doesn't want to have anything to do with this black side unless it advances him
And
or it's to
and
his advantage.
the thing that is kind of weird to me is it seems like he's kind of like poking back at like I guess black people saying he ain't not black enough or having to answer the questions. It's not black people, it's the fact that the owners haven't hired any black people as coaches. That's why they so quick for the white guys to say no, he's multiracial, you know what I mean, he's not white guy, like he's a minority, like so he needs to redirect his frustration instead
Mm.
of acting like the media and black people are the ones that are trying to identify him or categorize him.
Then to just sit up there and just say you don't know, like you don't have. I'm a human being. Like, come on, dog. You live in America.
That's
Stop
his
that.
all lives matter, dog. Like he's not stupid as you think, as you trying to give him credit for. The Bama knew exactly what he was doing. He was just trying to figure out a way to say I'm not black without coming out and saying I'm not black. He went home and him and his
No,
wife was
he.
laughing about it.
I'm gonna say secretly though, he lost respect from his locker room though,
Facts. There's a
and
lot
he
of
won't
coons on the
see.
field. I don't
It is
know.
a lot.
Some
It's
of
a
these
lot of
Southern
coon.
Bamas,
You right. It's a lot of coons out there. It's coon-tastic in the locker rooms, but I'm saying there's a core that's gonna be looking at that like, man, this old like, and then I don't say puny, but he just ain't. He ain't got no authoritative swag where Batman's gonna be like. So I just don't know how it's gonna come off in that locker room, dog. I don't know.
it's all
I don't.
predicated on if he knows what he's doing when it comes to football. Like if he
Mhm,
come in there and the offense work looks like it's gonna work, they get some good players in there and they look like they feel like they have a chance to win when they go out there and feel prepared. It'll be like nothing ever happened. But if
mhm,
other things start to go wrong, football related, people will be able to lean on this to be able to say like he has no leadership or direction.
mhm.
Bama just doesn't know what's going on.
Out of touch. Super Bowl, the Rams, dog. That third quarter, that third and fourth quarter, the fourth quarter at the end, the last like 3 minutes, it got good. But like that whole third quarter, that jump was just a wash. I was falling asleep, dog. I had made wings and everything. I was in the jump, dozing off, bro. The Rams, dog, they got the W, but should they have lost?
So my question is, do we have a sound bite to go along with this conversation or not?
I should have pulled the sound bite that you said at the beginning of the year when the trade happened for Matthew Stafford to go to the Rams. I will pull. I told you I was on the plantation today, heavy, but I'm gonna pull the audio from the episode where you said it. I can vouch that you was the Fortune 500 teller, dog.
A dude I
Uh,
can't stand because you know I can't stand Stafford. But dog, it was their Super Bowl to lose from the beginning.
I agree. I agree. I agree. Now, it's an interesting conversation that's been happening as of late. I don't know. I mean, of course, and you know me, like I live in the moment and whatever happens, like, okay, I just kind of blow it up. But this one I think is a little premature. Shout out my man Donnie Bedney. Shout out to him. He got a podcast. Uh he sent me a little thing with Richard Sherman talking about how dare people put Matthew Stafford in the Hall of Fame conversation. Is Matthew Stafford Hall of Fame worthy?
This is the thing. In this generation, there are going to be a lot of guys that get in based on um, exposure in this modern era and the numbers based on the passing that's happened since Randy Moss changed the league back in 98, 99.
Mhm.
Like it's it's going to be a lot of guys who wouldn't have got in other eras that are going to get in. If Eli Manning gets in, who I think is a bum, then Matt Stafford has to get in. If Kurt Warner is in, Matt Stafford has to get it. It's a lot of guys that got in based on like the passing era and being able to inflate their numbers. Um, that people aren't going to like, but they're going to get in. Philip Rivers is supposed to be in. Like, how do you keep him out? He's already 12th on the all-time passing league,
Mhm.
third in passing yards per game for his career in the history of the NFL. So if you like, people like to justify a lot of these bums, or not bums, but a lot of like guys
Mhm.
who were above average or notable players and very good, but not necessarily the greatest of their eras by using numbers. And if you do that for other guys, you can't keep guys you don't like or um, whose career arc you didn't like from getting in. When you like, if Eli gets in, he has to get in.
Yeah. I don't think you can put Eli in and then leave Matthew Stafford out. Like it's no justification for it. I mean, Matthew Stafford to me, I think he still has a couple years left. Like I don't think he's washed or he's done. So if he comes back next year, I think he could put up similar numbers. I'm not saying he'll win the Super Bowl, but I think that he could still put up, pretty decent numbers. I mean, he threw 41 touchdowns and 17 INTs. Now those are nice numbers. I don't think he'll do that, but I think his numbers will be in the 30s easy. He's played along since 2009 as Bama's been in the league. He played a lot of dreaded seasons in Detroit. I think his best season in Detroit was 2011, 41 touchdowns and 16 INTs. And of course that was Megatron era. Yeah, I think I'm with you, dog. I don't think you can really keep him out um justifiably if you let other guys in, dog. And that's just part of the landscape of the NFL and how they've just like, I mean, it's we talk about it all the time, but just the whole system is just messed up, though. It's a popularity contest, and it's not really rooted in anything like substantial. It's we like this guy, we don't kind of like this guy, or
Right. Anything other than players and coaches voting is a fraud to me in any sport. Because you got a lot of guys who think they know it all, these journalists who get involved who never did anything competitive in their entire lives, who create these narratives for players in the first place.
Mhm.
So to me, Eli is the bar because he's probably the worst out of all the guys that are in, especially in the last, like in our lifetime of being able to
Mhm.
watch football and understand it. Eli's going to be that bottom bar, that threshold of guys getting in. If
Yeah.
you have a
But
ring, are
you
you
know
better
what
than
pushes,
Eli?
yeah,
You
but
get
you put, yeah, exactly. But Eli, the thing that pushes Eli over the hump, I think in a lot of people's minds is the Patriot beat, like them beating the Patriots when nobody could
it.
beat no, and he beat the Patriots with Randy Moss.
No, that's a fact, and the fact that he played in New York and not in
Yeah, okay.
some other small market. Like if he does
Cleveland.
that from Carolina, you know what I mean? Like that makes a big difference because New York media plays probably the biggest part in deciding how these narratives go and
Mhm.
how the rest of the country views, you know what I mean, players versus better players who have played elsewhere and not necessarily gotten in. Like who didn't get in? Devin Hester didn't get in first ballot. Who's the greatest punt returner, kick returner
Ever.
ever, and he doesn't get in. You know what I mean? So it's things like that where it's like when you, as long as you got these 5'9", 230-pound ball head Bama's making the decisions, it's 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 never going to be, you know what I mean? Like
Like
it's
what
never
it
going to be an
should be.
accurate depiction of the
Yeah.
greatest guys ever because the narrative plays too much of a part of who gets in and who doesn't.
Yeah, nah, facts. Facts. Odell got injured, dog. Non-contact. He finished.
Matt Stafford's fault.
You think that was Stafford's fault? How's it
Press the
Stafford's
replay.
fault?
Look at the ball location and why he had to turn that way to get it in the ACL pop.
Dog, his knees
Replay it.
already applesauce, though.
No, that's accurate. But when your knees are applesauce and you fresh off of ACL and you got to turn a weird way that the body
I
doesn't
gotta
normally
say,
turn with a surgically
ah,
repaired ligament,
dog,
that's
he
how it
took
ended
that
up popping.
step. Yeah, and the missus was in this jump like, I think he's faking. I'm like, nah, he ain't faking that jump. I done seen that jump too many times. Well, you can see when he stepped, that Bama just collapsed. I was like, oh yeah, he finished. He finished.
And it's
Now he
unfortunate.
got a ring
He
though.
did
He got a
contribute though,
touchdown. He
and a
did
touchdown.
contribute.
So
Yeah, he
you mean to
got a
tell me
TD.
Browns and Giants, what's going on here? He didn't distract him out of a Super Bowl? I thought he was washed. I thought he was a bum, Harold. The
He
offense
washed
clearly took
now.
a step back. The offense
It
clearly
took a
took a step
huge
back when
step
he
back.
got injured.
Dog, the offense looked real lackluster. I was like, these Bama's about to lose. And the commentators kept saying, oh, yeah, like they're really hurting without Odell out there. Like, I mean, it was evident that he was a game changer in their offense. And when he wasn't
And
in
he was
there,
and he was dictating coverage too. Like what's the white boy? Cooper Cup is really good and his numbers stack up, but he wasn't dictating coverage the way that Odell was. Like the
Mhm,
way that they lean to say, you know what I mean? Like he
mhm.
completely takes an extra player out of the coverage and out of the middle of the field when he was on the field versus they were just bracketing Cooper Cup the whole time until Matt
Whole
Stafford was
time,
like,
yeah.
forget it. I'm just forcing this back with the ball and hitting it with like
He
the
had
underneath,
to.
underneath, underneath. Yeah.
No, he had to. They was going because none of the other receivers, dog, was getting it done. They weren't
Yeah.
getting
They
it done.
they
No,
got to make a move at receiver and cornerback.
now, whatchamacallit almost cost them the game. The cornerback, what's his name?
Ramsey, Bamsey,
Ramsey. Bamsey. Bamsey almost cost it the game. He was
you
getting
get
bammed on,
bammed on
dog.
every week. Every week. No,
No. T.
fool's
Higgins
gold.
was bamming on him.
Sean
Chase,
Spring.
he's Sean Springs, dog. That's the perfect comparison, dog. Perfect. Yeah, I mean, they got through. Shout out to the Rams and this man here, dog. Dog. Aaron Donald, dog, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I'm gonna say it right now. Put him in the Bama career ended today. He in the Hall of Fame. This Bama is a super game changer. And when I was watching the game, it was one play where he like shoved Joe Burrow out of bounds. And then some of the defensive players start like getting in his face and like try to like basically like scuffle with him, whatever. Right. And I was watching the jump. I was like, dog, you don't scuffle with Bamas like him, dog. You don't like let them Bamas just be docile and just chill. Cause when you awaken them type dudes, they're gonna destroy the game plan, dog. When they get mad, oh, it's over. Like it's over. And right after that jump, the Bama got two back-to-back sacks. One put him in a long third down, and then one on third down and put him in fourth down. Then the Bama just started wreaking havoc. He stopped Samaje Perine, was going through the hole. The Bama grabbed him
Like a
and brought
Tala.
him back. Dog, I'm like, this Bama is unreal. So I mean, out of players, you talk about like players who deserve to win or get a championship and stuff like that. Like Aaron Donald, in my opinion, is like top one deserving of a championship. Put his heart and soul on the line, and I really felt like he changed the momentum of that game. Especially in a game where the offense started to sputter out because you had Matthew Stafford throwing picks, and it just like and he really kind of gave them a next extra energy to kind of push them, propel them forward to get the W. Um, And I think the last few minutes of the game was exciting, and I enjoyed that. Dog, the halftime, you had Snoop, you had Mary J, you had Dr. Dre, you had Eminem and Kendrick all perform. What did you get this halftime performance this year?
I mean, I'm not a guy who kind of watches for that kind of thing. I thought the lineup and the impact, the
Mhm.
idea, the concept was vicious. But
Okay.
these Bama's, Dre approaching 60, the rest of the
Yeah,
Bama's, you know what I
them
mean,
was
approaching
old.
50 or 50s, like
All you
they
can
up there.
do is
50 Cent, you saw this Bama and put on a
that man
good
was
50,
hanging
60
hanging
pounds.
upside down, dog. I'm like, this big old brolic type man, you gonna get down there for you break your neck? What is you
So I think
doing?
it's on par what you would get from a performer in their age bracket.
Hmm.
But I think the concept was good.
Yeah, I
I
thought it
thought
was
the
well
concept was good.
executed. I mean, out of the parts of the performances, Kendrick Joe clearly was like he could show he was like the
Half their
young,
age.
vibrant, yeah,
Yeah.
half the age, because you saw it in the performance that, and he just a rapper, but you could see like just in the concept of the choreograph, like dancers and stuff like that. I like that they were like distinguished men. You know what I'm saying? Like it was cool. Like I thought what Kendrick did with his part of the performance was cool. You saw Eminem up the joint kneeling while Dr. Dre was playing the piano. You know, people was big mad over that joint.
You mean
Apparently,
it
the
wasn't a
NFL.
flag? It wasn't a pledge of allegiance going on. Why they mad, Harold? It's not the military anymore. What's going on? What's the new tagline?
Dog, it was Bama's on online big mad, dog, and it wasn't our hue or complexion either.
They just bad people, dog. At some point, Bama's just got to realize it.
Dog, first
They
of
just
all,
bad people.
somebody was like, one of these jokers was like, it was they were showing too much skin, and this was a sexually charged performance. I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? This jump was real subdued, honestly.
That's just how they talk, dog. It's like they dog whistling to try to say you got thugs and hoes up there on the stage. That's just how their brain work. When they see black, their brain just go to a dark place, dog. And that's when they get their most creative too. Like they don't create anything on the planet. They steal everything else. But when it comes to racism, these Bamas turn into savants. You just gotta accept that's who they are. Because we talked about it before the tweet started showing up. We was like, yeah, they about to be hot. It's no Bruce Springsteen out there. You know what I mean? They about to be
Ain't
hot.
no Kenny Chesney, ain't no.
The one dude started with African Americans only 13% of the population. By the end of the night, he was like, these niggas, you know what I mean? Like just flat out. Just flat
No,
out.
they got him up out of there too. They done ran him off Twitter, dog. I'm young. It's a new day. You say some stupid stuff now, young, you're gonna get they're coming for you heavy to
Better
get
than
you up
the FBI
offline,
too.
dog.
They're gonna find out where you
Better than
work,
dog.
who
It's a
your
Bama.
kids
I don't know
are,
what the
your
Bama name. The
parents.
Bama name Dinesh or something like that. Dog. This Bama, young. If I ever need to find somebody online, I'ma contact that Bama ASAP. I don't know what kind of algorithm this Bama got behind the scenes, but he be finding real Bamas in a real government names, dog, and be putting them on blast. I'm like, dog, who got time to do this? But all that internet trolling with Bama's like, you can't find me and put up like the fake names and all that stuff. That Bama get through all that, dog. He beating the cover too. He finding out exactly where you at. Every time. It's wild out here, bro. It's wild. On to some basketball. Wizards. They made a trade for Porzingis. We still ain't seen him on the court yet. We ain't seen him on the court yet, but it's videotape of him getting shots up, hitting threes. I know you had a few days to digest it. Do you like the trade?
I like getting Dinwiddie bum ass off the roster. Um,
Okay.
he was terrible. I said it from the beginning of the beginning when they were still winning that he was terrible and it was going to be an issue. that they had to
Mhm.
make a move at guard, particularly point guard. Um, I think, of course, they end up losing all of the trades when you look at leverage and what they give up versus what they get. That's just what happens here. As long as you got Ernie and his understudy here, that's just what's going to happen. Um, that trade, I'm not as irritated with as the other one, where they traded Harrell and got
Mhm.
back a Bama that averages 2.7 points for his career.
No, so let me just say this. There's some things that I peeped since the trade has happened, right? Harrell is a tyrant, though. He clearly is, though, because they brought in a docile, easygoing, nice, everybody loves Chris type
Bum.
Bama bum, and they got rid of a dog. And honestly, they won two games in a row, and to me, it seems like it's like the bullies left the locker room, and now Bama's can like breathe again. Like you can go to the lunch table and eat your food without having to worry about
That mean they
somebody
puss.
taking. No, that's exactly what it means. That's exactly what it means. And clearly they are, but this is a way for them to have some success for them. Now,
And mess up their
another thing
draft
that
stock.
they did. Another thing I noticed too is that Wes Unseld Jr., he's not respected like I thought he would be. Cause it seems like I don't know. It seems like there's a level of like, and maybe that was Montrezl Harrell being there and like him losing the grass and I don't know what the conversations are with like Tommy Shepard and Wes Unseld Jr. behind the scenes.
I do.
But if he was like, dog, you got to get Montrezl Harrell off this team, dog, because nobody will listen to me with him on the team. Like,
I don't even think I think the issue is the other way around, dog. When the players see the GM making the substitutions instead of the head coach, you're not in charge. And once they realize you're not in charge of basketball, why would they listen to you?
that's a good point.
Why? That's like you being in a classroom and your teacher got to go to another teacher, or another teacher is telling your teacher. You know what I mean? Like, man was like, "Who's
Shut
this?"
up.
It's
I'm throwing
exactly.
foam
It's
at
like
the
having a
ground.
substitute teacher. And so
You won't get out of here.
once a guy starts playing inferior players and giving them minutes to try to feature guys for trades or for narratives, you're going to lose the locker room every time. That's just how you don't see Pop doing that. They still can. It's funny how other teams can make trades without featuring Bama's on the bench. And a lot of the
Mhm.
guys they wanted to trade would have been better off not playing and putting bad film on to actually make the trades
Dog,
happen.
you win
So
and
it's
you get traded value. Period. Just win.
and this is part of the reason why they hired him instead of Sam Cassell, because Sam Cassell would have told him to put the pipe in your mouth. Like, I'm the coach. Get out of here. Don't come down here talking to me like that. Stay up there in your office. I'll talk to you after the game, but don't come down here. You know what I mean? And this is exactly why you get what you get in DC.
They're in the 11th spot right now.
Here we go. What day in the
I
draft? What spot are they in the draft? I don't care about the playoff seeding. What spot are they in the draft? That's what matters to me.
Yo, I mean, can they tank? They
You don't
need to
have to
be
tank
top
with
five.
bums.
Yeah, you're right. They need to be top five, though. They need a top five pick. This is where they need a top five pick. Because really, in this NBA draft, after five Bamas, it's over. You picking bums. You can go ahead and put me on the team and let me
It's
play.
go- they gonna get another international Bama. Who left? They got a Bama from Israel. They got a Bama from Japan. They got a Bama from
They gonna go to Tokyo somewhere, or they gonna go to
Latvia. So they got where they gotta go
Latvia?
now. They ain't getting no African. That makes too much sense.
uh
They go China or
Congo.
Russia. Oh, it's out of control. They gonna find
Out of control.
somebody international. I guarantee it's gonna be
Dog,
the
we
Bama
can't.
they
Dog,
tried to
they get
set.
another international Bama. I'm I'm kirking. I've already kirked one time already. I'm like, I'm so disinterested in the team at this point because of the moves that they're making. Dog, trust me, Porzingis, he's gonna have some success, but will it be sustainable? No. All this is gonna do is just put the Wizards in a worse predicament. They're gonna win more games than they need to, and then be picking 12 through
15.
18.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know they have no ability to evaluate players past 5.
Why
That's
get
it, dog.
Isaiah Todd? Like I was excited about that Batman. He gets no burn. So like I don't understand what they doing, dog. They just draft just to say they drafted, but they don't care. They don't care.
Yeah, they clearly mishandling in the picks, dog. Cause you make moves to get him on the roster. He don't play. I mean, Kingsbury's played as of late, but they love this Bama Denny Avdia, dog. They love him. Like
That's it.
I
The
don't.
owner level.
They treating him like you remember how they used to say Hito Turkoglu was the Turkish Jordan, son. They just
Jewish
the
Jordan,
Jewish
dog.
Jordan out here, dog. They love this man for some reason. He just okay to me. He
He's
a
a
C
bum.
level,
He
C
can't score
plus
the
player.
basketball.
I
If you can't score, you a bum.
see.
The league is about scoring. Like you can play all the defensive effort, even though he be getting cooked, and Bama's want to
He be
pretend
getting
like he
cooked.
locked Bama's up.
Nah, he get
Like
cooked. He
if
not
you
locked
can't
down.
score the basketball,
He
you
a
a bum.
hustle Marsalis, dog. He just dive and do a whole bunch of extra.
Right.
Uh, I mean, you need that on your team, but you can't say he gonna get you 25 and like no, scratch
That's got
that.
to be a la carte. It can't be the main course. If your main course is diving for rebound, I mean diving for loose balls and rebound, no, stop. Putbacks and no, you can't win that way.
Oh man, where you think they end up at the end of the season? What place you see them end up at? What seed?
Probably where they at
11?
11, 10,
Do they get a playing game for the playoffs?
probably just enough to mess up the draft pick.
Oh my
Because there's
goodness,
so
man.
many sorry teams, dog. That like they beat Brooklyn, they beat Detroit, of course. So it's enough bad teams in the league where they won't get buried the way that
Mhm.
they probably should, given what just happened over the course of the last couple months. These Bengals was in first place. In first place.
That was
Look at me
short-lived.
now.
That was short-lived.
We got too size.
Ah,
That's what it was. Bama's got too size.
we got two
And
sites though. The thing is, it don't seem. It seemed like it was a long time though. We were sites though. It seemed like it,
they
though.
were
We
good
seemed
for
like we
like a
was on
good 25,
a
30
good.
games into the
That's
season.
what I'm saying. Like a whole month and some change, they was good. I was like, no, I never seen this before. I was geeking, and then I got home. Youngin took the makeup off. I'm like, what in the?
Who was
I
this?
got to get out of here. This
We
thing, I
got
don't know
catfish, dog.
who you are, dog. Cash at me my bread back for dinner. It's over. Who are you? Doing like that the Instagram challenge, Joan, when the Joan come down and then Bama's face switch up. Who you look like, dog? This Joan, fail. Uh, I mean, like I said, I'm not kirking no more. I'm just not supporting the team. I'm not buying no gear. I'm not doing none of that, dog. I barely watched the game. The other night I had the game on, but that was just formality. Like I wasn't even paying attention to the jump until the jump was over. I was like, oh, these Bama's won. Oh, okay, all right, bet. Good job. Like that's where I'm at with it right now. Cause
Unwatchable.
yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do, dog. I don't know what they're gonna do. What else, young? Anything else out there going
Your,
on?
your man Daniel Snyder out here cutting down
Oh,
national
damn.
forest trees
Yo,
so he can get a better view out of his
yo, so
mansion.
so first of all, you know what's about to happen. The NFL coming for Dan Snyder, dog. I sent you the article that it looks like it's about to be a battle between Dan Snyder and the NFL. And partly because Snyder, dog, he can't, dog. All you gotta do is just shut up, chill, hang in the background. He just want to be in the mix, dog. I don't know why, but him wanting to be in the mix it's going to cause more problems because Dan Snyder doesn't have like buddies in the NFL like that. He don't have people going champion for him or like stand up for him and stuff like that. When you on
His
the
only
bad
guy is
side of the
Jerry,
league,
and Jerry on his
I don't
way
even
out of
know.
here.
I don't even know if Jerry his man for real, for real. I don't know, dog. I'm not sure. This whole scandal thing with the team and NFL. First of all, I'm sure the stuff that they have is going, especially with the probe now from the government. They looking into it, dog. They want to get Snyder out so they don't have to divulge that information, dog. The question is, can they get him out without a scuffle and a fight? Because Snyder,
He play a
you
dirty
already
game.
know.
If you play with him, dog, it's gonna be some stuff come out about everybody. That's why I really don't see the NFL turning their back on him. Like they gonna posture like this with the media to make it look like, oh, this is absurd. And I know
Mhm,
they're frustrated because a lot of their information is coming out based on the Washington investigation. That's really what Bama's pissed about.
mhm.
But knowing how these Bamas operate, dog, they know if this Bama Dan get put in a position where he feels like, because he still doesn't feel like he's going to lose his team. He knows it's a battle. It's ugly. It's gonna be a headache. But he doesn't feel like he's going to lose his team. If it ever clicks in his brain that, yeah, I'm about to lose my team, he's not going to be the only one going.
What you think Dan Snyder got tucked in the vault, dog?
They openly, I'm sure the rest of the owners have openly said egregious things that he knows about stuff that takes place on other teams. Like they,
Mhm,
nobody ever saw him getting kicked out in this kind of way. I'm sure he know a lot of stuff about Jerry because that was the guy he kind of looked up to and tried to pattern himself after, and was hanging up under when it comes to all of this stuff. So no, it's just imagine if you, like, if somebody was to come and investigate Bama's that you talking with kind of regularly, and you live in a, like, you're in a small club of people like these billionaires that own football
mhm,
teams. Like that fraternity is very small. There's only 32
mhm.
teams. So it's things that take place, and behaviors that only this group of people know about, dog, or can indulge it in that way. So, dog, it's gonna get ugly when it comes to like Kaepernick, other kind of stuff. It's a lot of stuff that this Bama knows that if he just decides that these guys are my enemies, it's too much. It's too risky. So they probably having conversation behind the scenes like, "Hey, Dan, chill, dog. Like, look, we gotta come out acting like this, but we got you. Don't even worry about it. You might have to sit out for 6 months, a year, and we gonna make it look
we
like we
going,
going at it, but it's a publicity stunt, dog. It's a
no, it's
publicity
all,
stunt.
no, it's a publicity stunt, dog. The fact is, you're right, dog. Billionaires not fighting billionaires, dog. They
No,
fighting poor people.
and like it's the funny thing about these Joe Blow Whiteys. They feel like these Bama's love them, or you know what I mean. Like they identify with these people. These people don't identify with you at all. They look at you like idiots and bums. Like get away. Like they don't want to be your friends like that.
You
They
you
need you
you yeah,
for the things they
you
want
gonna
to
buy
get
the
out.
concessions. Yeah,
Yeah,
you buying the concessions.
you work for them in their mind. Like you like if you would have been at a regular job, they look at you like you the janitor. Like it don't matter what your job is, you work
How,
for them. Like they own you.
how much Dan Snyder worth, dog?
4 billion,
4 billion?
4 billion.
Is that enough to fight the NFL?
He didn't need it. I mean, the NFL is not going to spend billions and hundreds of millions
Mm-mm,
on litigation against the Bama. That's just not how it works. But
mm-mm.
at, that kind of money you could never really spend in a lifetime. It's just a matter of how much of a point do you want to make. Like money's not going to be the issue when it comes to deciding if how bad he wants to fight this or just walk away.
Mhm. Dan probably got some clips in the chamber as we speak, ready. But
You know, I
yeah,
don't
you
hate the
right.
Bama as much as everybody else does. I'm kind of hoping like a bunch of stuff come out. They keep bullying on the Bama and a bunch of stuff come
Yo,
out. Like,
the
cause being
thing
a
is,
bad owner is
we
not a
know all
crime.
them Bama's, yeah, but we know all them Bama's is super pervert type
They
Bama's,
all
dog.
are,
Every
dog.
last one of them. And you
Even
got money, so the
right.
perversion is more extreme, dog. Bama's is petting dogs on the butt. They doing all types of stuff. Dog, the more bread they got, the perversion is just they explore stuff regular Joe Schmoes can never even think because they bored, dog. Yeah, bread.
And the lower Alabama is on a woman's attractive scale or whatever, like the more OC and
The more
perverted these Bama's
OCI
are
go.
behind the scenes. Like we work with these
Bama
kind of
licking their
Bama's all the
toes and
time.
everything.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
all
you don't
types
have
of
to be
stuff.
filthy rich for these Bama's to be purrs. When you got Bama's that look like this, dog,
Let's
and they kind of
let's
like
let's lay in
lame and
mud
weird,
together. Let's
dog,
put
they
your
out of
doodle on my
control.
face. All types of oh,
Dog, that's
dirty
their real life.
scumbag type shit. You right, y'all cracking eggs in each other's faces and all type of stuff, licking it all. Yeah, you already know, dog. And if that stuff come out, I mean, just the embarrassment alone gonna finish you. But yeah, you right. It's a whole bunch of posturing. The media people gotta seem like they doing stuff, but you always know it's like it's a few it's always you seen it in the movies. It's always one media bammer who don't play by the rules. Like you can't buy them out. You can't. They just want to get to the
You got to
get to
murk
the.
him.
you,
You got to put a bullet in the back of his
you
head. That's
already,
how that go.
you already know you will come to the with the proposition. Be like, yeah, we got some bread for you. Like, I don't care about the bread. I just care about the truth. Like,
And by the end of
they
the
gonna be
movie, he laying under a tombstone. Like that's just how it go. Like these people got to learn. These Bama's don't love you for one, and you can't play with Bama's with money for real. Because
no, can't.
because to get to a point where you got bread like that, you already have to be like a certain level of immoral and tyrant, dog. Like, cause you're not gonna get anywhere in life doing things the right way. Like this just it's sad to say you're not gonna get to that level of access doing things the right way.
By the
You gotta
book.
be a cutthroat, like you gotta be a savage to get to that point. And so these Bama's out here
Savagery
thinking
is
they playing
definitely
by the same rules that you playing by, the same level of integrity
you
when
gonna
they
find
don't play by
your
any
head
rules.
crack
Yeah.
sizzling on a pan. I was gonna eat
Like go
your
chill out somewhere.
you already know, dog. You got to be careful out here, gang. You trying to get to the bottom of the story. Cause they out there, dog, trying to get to the bottom of the story. But the government being involved, I think kind of gives it a different kind of twist. But we
The
gonna see.
midterms coming up, you already know the posturing,
you
grandstanding.
you already know somebody gonna want to buy out. They be like, look, we'll let it go, but we gonna need my kids in private schools. We like I'm gonna need that stadium to come out here to UVA. Need that thing out here in
And
Virginia.
the thing is, like, so I don't know if it's true or not. So I don't want to go down that path of slander
Go
that
ahead,
I
go
know is
down.
no, 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 because I don't know if it's true or not. And you got to make sure
Oh
everything's
yeah,
one hundred
yeah, we
percent
got better. Yeah,
factual
yeah. We can't
before
we
you
can't
get
just
one of
spew
them.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
but the Bama moved to Alexandria from down in Loudon. So I think his plans was either to put the drain back in DC that or like the National Harbor kind of area since they gentrified up where
Mm.
RFK is to make sure nobody puts a stadium back over there. So as long as this person doesn't f that up by playing these politically correct games with the owner, chances could be good though, that they're gonna end up getting that new stadium put in a decent place. But if they put that joint down to like Prince William County, something like that, dog, just go ahead and let Virginia have it. Let them be the Virginia Commanders or the Commonwealth Commanders
And
or
look,
whatever you
they
want to
go
call
out
them.
there. That's exactly what I'm
I don't
calling them,
want nothing
dog.
to do with them.
Commonwealth Commanders, Virginia
Yeah,
Commanders. I'm not
Commonwealth
calling.
Commanders, dog. Y'all
Yeah,
can have it.
Commonwealth.
Let DC
'Cause
get
they
an
ain't no
expansion team, dog. Black owner or Bezos.
dog. Hey, you is what we call gonna be an owner? Main man,
Bezos,
nah,
Byron Allen.
uh, Byron Allen. They talking about he might get a look. They gonna let him in the room.
Not if they have a choice, but is his bread lined up that way?
He said he been posturing to get his bread ready to do that. So
Or maybe
I
putting a
think he
group
might.
together. I mean, I like to see it. He's fought harder for black people in media than anybody I know of or have heard of.
Mhm.
You remember what was going on with him and Comcast, and we were talking about it like 3 or 4 years ago.
Mhm.
The Bama, he fight back against them where nobody else does in that space. Um, he owned the Weather Channel, some other stuff now based on that issue he was having with Comcast back then. But
Mhm.
I like to see it. Out of all of the Bama's they listen to the black people that could have teams, I would like to see him do it because I feel like he'd be one to do good by black people and not just doing that posturing or
Yeah.
um, just trying to make it a look like some people who you're not allowed to talk about when we were talking about that deal they signed with the NFL a couple years ago. So
Mhm.
you know how that go.
You know how that go, dog. You know how that go. Follow us at OSS 980 at Other Side of Sports. Please click the subscribe button, share the content. We still got the PS5, we still got the Xbox, all of that stuff still, it dog don't collecting dust. So if you share
So
the content, go ahead.
now that the Super Bowl over, the youngins is asking, can we get a whole show of questions of the day?
Yeah, of course.
We
Of
got a little
course.
gap in coverage. We since we not rocking with the
St-
Wizards no more, can we get a whole show of
we
questions of the day and
listen,
that kind of
listen, listen,
conversation?
listen. Next week, we going this junk gonna be Kevin Samuels 2.0 on this jump. We about to break down. If you want to get married, you want to be in a real relationship, not one of these smash and dash, hit it and quit it type jumps. You want to be in something legit. Tune in next week. I'm gonna give you all the secrets, dog. You're gonna hear from a married man, and you're gonna hear from a man out here in the streets looking at all the options and telling you which ones he's discarding immediately.
Immediately.
So you definitely want to tune in. All the young matter of fact, just tell if if you know a girl, you know somebody, and they like, I don't know what I need to do, girl. Like, I'm trying to get married. I don't know what. Tell them to tune into the OSS show. We putting sports, all that to the side, back burner. We're gonna give you the formula. We're gonna give you the formula. Straight like that. Questions of the day. If you have a question of the day, you can send it to me. Send it to OSS 980. You can send questions. We can keep it anonymous. We won't put your business out in the streets. And we'll talk it through. But yeah, next week we doing questions of the day, the whole episode, though. Unless something crazy happened in sports, we'll probably talk about it. But all whole episode, questions of the day, relationship advice, all that. So tune in. Shout out my man Where's Buffy podcast. Shout out to Jenna Garcia. Shout out to Lance J Radio. Shout out to Kicking It with G Man. Shout out to Ben Knows Best. Shout out to my man uh Kev, Will, um, Van, everybody who follows us and rock with us. We out.